Hello, everyone. It's Tony at Shining Hawk Healing. Thank you so much for being here. My guest today is Pomona, and her channel is Pomona Remembers. This is kind of crazy because I did a reading for her on my channel, on this channel, a few weeks ago, or week and a half ago, and it just got cut off. So I saw you, Pomona, on Sheila's channel, and it reminded me of that reading, and I was like, oh, what happened? So I just wanted to share that with you, and I've been looking at your videos, and you've got like a really different take on things and how you approach things. So without further ado, let's just talk to and I've introduced you, so tell us more about how you got started in this work, and what's most fun about it for you.
Well, I've always been in this work. I've always been curious about the other side. Um, I knew that angels were real and they were all around me since the fall and since the story of the fall. Um, and so I've never not had them around me. I moved around a lot when I was a child too. So I really didn't make a lot of friends, like human friends. I had a lot of friends in the spirit realm, and in nature. I spent a lot of time in nature.
So
It was,
when you say the fall, the story, this tell everyone the story of the fall.
oh, the fall.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was around the age of 2 or 3, we were living in Baden-Baden, Germany. My father was in the armed forces, the PPCLI, for the Canadian forces, and we were on that Canadian base. Now, we lived in off the barracks because we made enough money, apparently. This is all through my parents' conversations, and I was very, very, I listened a lot when I was a kid. I didn't talk for a long, long time. I was very much an observer of everybody and everything. And so we lived in off barracks. So it was, we had, I don't know how many stories were in the home, but I fell out of a 2-story window when I was around 2 or 3 years old. And there was the building, and then there was like gardens right along the building. And there was like cement planters and rocks and flowers and everything along this thing. And then there was like a walkway, a cement walkway. And I happened to fall and land just gently on the grass past all of this, past the walkway. My dad said there was about 2 inches, and I was just sitting up like a little dolly. And he said to me that he didn't know whether he should jump out the window after me or take the stairs. So he said that he didn't really hit any, he doesn't remember hitting any of the stairs on the way down. I think he jumped like he was in the army. He was pretty fit. I can imagine how quickly he got to me. Um, and he picked me up and he checked my whole body for any kind of anything, and there was nothing. And I think he called my mother, and she said, please go for sure and take her. Double check your check. And he's like, absolutely, I am, but I need to let you know what happened. So he took me directly to the doctor, and the doctor checked my whole spine from crown to tail, and there was nothing out of alignment or broken or anything. They checked my whole body over. There was no abrasions or anything. And that was just my second, I guess, near death experience, because before that I had almost passed away because I had contracted pneumonia when I was an infant, and I was in the hospital for a very long time, and I was
Wow.
not responding to the medications that they were
Wow.
giving me. And so that almost took me. So there's been lots of stories to tell.
Wow.
So because of um there's been too many stories, too many amazing things that have happened to me for me not to acknowledge who's taking care of me. So it's kind of rude when you do not say thank you to the gentleman who stopped your car from going into traffic.
Yeah.
Amazingly off the ice one day, like when I'm out of control in my car and I'm going to drive into traffic and I'm like, help me, please. And the car stops at the front of the car, not the brakes and the tires where you usually feel it. I'm like, thank you, whoever that was.
Mm.
I can't see anybody. But yeah, things like that my whole life. So, um, and I don't know how else to explain it to you, but I've just always been a person who prayed and saw, and always been a cheerleader of the underdog. Always.
Always.
I'm the one who would choose the broken dolly because she's going to be sad and left alone.
So you're a healer. You're a healer. Would you say that you are empathic?
Oh, very much so, yes.
And do you do mediumship as well?
Yes.
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 And
Yeah.
let's see. What? So I've been in a group that reads the records. I don't know if you are into that at all.
I'm pretty sure I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So this is awesome. I mean, I really wanted to have you on because of our emails back and forth about the reading and everything. And I was like, this girl, I've got to meet this girl. Because you
Yeah,
just
I
seem like
got
just so much
lots of
fun.
stories. I got lots of stories, and I stay home a lot, and I still get things happening to me. Even
Wow.
in my own house, I've had pictures come off the wall to tell me a story. Like right after my dad passed away, my mom
Mm,
had gone, my nana had fallen and broken her arm. And so right after my dad's funeral, my mom had to run all the way to the next province to collect her mother, who we didn't know if she was going to survive or not. And my mother was in no way ready to do that right after losing her partner since the age of 17.
oh, wow.
So, um, my dad started talking to me and was like, go get your mom, go get your mother, go get your mother, go get your mom. And then he physically took photos off of my wall that told, like, it was almost like his form of tarot cards, like Blue's Clues. And they landed on my couch in the story that it was like a picture of me. It was a self portrait. And then this picture of what was supposed to be my mother. And then this next picture. So these are all mock ups. These were art renderings from an X-Men movie. So we had them all on the wall. So there was just pictures of these people, these X-Men, because my husband was way into X-Men. He even got he even has like a signed Hugh Jackman Wolverine thing. Yeah. So we had all those in our TV room, like with our kids, right? Our
Yeah.
kids even got to have one of the beds from the set of X-Men for a while
Wow.
because my husband's uh ex stepdad is complicated, Tony. Um he used to work on movies. So he
Ah,
worked on X-Men too. So we had all these things. And so these pictures came down, and it looked like one of them looks like how my mom looked in the 80s, and then the other one was a self-portrait of me, and then the next one was like a travel terminal, and it was like, "Go get your mama. You, my little lotus flower, go get your mother." So my husband and I got into the vehicle and drove the, I don't know how many, 8 hours to go pick her up and then bring her back. And so she could, it was too early for her to leave. And my dad knew it, and he could see that she was not doing well. So we gathered up my grandmother and my mother and brought them over here. And this was right before COVID. So right, or around when that first started.
oh,
So
well, that
yeah,
was good.
so yeah. Um, I think that's it. Yeah, they come, they visit me. They always have, though.
Do you have like what clairs do you I always say what clairs do you claim? Um
Um, I sense, like I feel very deeply. I feel. I see things. I get visions. I hear things like in my third ear or whatever I get. So you'll see me sometimes when I'm doing this. It's like I'm hearing them. And then if I'm stepping off to the side and looking over, I'm getting visions. I've noticed that as I've edited my videos. I'm like, oh, I have little quirks that happen when I'm listening or when
yeah,
yeah, I didn't
yeah,
realize that. I never watched myself do that
yeah,
before, right? So
yeah, you get to
it's
see
very
that once
weird.
yeah,
And
you get to see that.
I'm like, she's gone and she's back again. There she is.
I I know.
And
It's fun to see the process of, the people who actually do this work. It's fun to see what the different processes are for each person and how they sort of process information. Some people look off to the side. Some people, some people do automatic writing. Some
yeah,
people do use the pendulum. I had a woman who used to do this, right, with the
yeah,
pendulum, and then
yeah,
she would give a reading with the
yeah.
pendulum as she hold it like this, or she hold it over her hand like that. And
Wow.
so it's the different ways that people do, and then you've got, of course, these. So do you use cards as well?
Yeah, I kind
I
of
mean,
fell in love with them.
I've seen you use some cards, but I mean, do you, is, what is your main one? What's your main
I don't
go-to?
I don't have a main one. I Oh, wait, no, that's not true. That's not true. I do have a few that are like my first ones. So I have a real special place in my heart for this one, for
Oh,
the
I have that
integrity.
one.
Yeah,
Um,
I love that one. Um, oh gosh, I really am liking this pulp tarot. I love the graphics
um,
on it. It's the pulp tarot.
I've never
The
seen that
graphics
one.
the
I've never
graphics
seen
on
that
it
one.
are like really cool. I'll show you a little bit of it. Um, like it's like old movie posters and
Oh,
like
that
that
is
pulp.
so cool. Where did you get those?
Just online.
Okay, and they're called
They have,
Pulp Tarot.
yeah, um, yeah, pulp tarot.
I know some people who would love that deck. Christmas
Yeah,
is coming.
I even like grabbed these games from the store, like that look like little things you can read, and I've tried
Yeah.
it before and it actually works.
What?
Yeah, it's like, look at
What
famous
does it say?
duos.
Famous duos.
Hey, you and I are a duo.
Here we are. I got this. This is a deck that a friend of mine made, and it's called Ask Your Gay BFF.
Oh my gosh, that looks so fun.
Yeah, it's so much fun, and it's like the Magic 8 Ball.
Okay.
I think you would love it because it says, where does it say? It says, no, I don't have my glasses on.
I know, right?
My readers. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm so old. Says
How does that?
the only oracle cards that read you. That's what it says. And it's when you open them up, it says to be used for entertainment purposes only. Duh. Cards contain adult language. You've been warned, bitches. All right. All rights reserved. For more information, visit cardtobelieve.com. So you guys go to cardtobelieve.com and pick up my friend's deck because these are so cute. Look at this deck.
That's awesome.
So it has the red cards are no, the green cards are Christ on a cracker, yes.
Can I show you something real quick? Two things
Sure.
that I made. So these are pendulums that I made out of precious, like out of stones, out of crystals. So, here we
Yeah.
are.
Oh,
So this
wow.
ribbon is hand dyed by my aunt. Okay, so this is the top of it. It's like a little toggle.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you can see. And then this is my pendulum.
Oh my goodness. Jeez. Is that jade?
I think it's like a jasper of some sort.
A
Yeah,
jasper. Okay. Green jasper. That's beautiful.
yeah.
It's heavy, it
And
looks
oh,
like.
sorry. And these little beads are like retro, like these are older glass beads. And then I have this other one that I made as well.
Oh, wow.
And it's like a black tourmaline.
Oh my gosh, that's cute. Do you sell these?
I will be. I just got a whole bunch of really cute rocks that I'm going to be making these. So what I do is I work with the rocks and I allow them to choose what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you want this ribbon or do you want this ribbon? Do you want these beads or do you want these beads? And I let them, like, I just got them first started and I do the yes and then the no. And then I let them, I'm like, what do you want? This one? Yeah. Okay. So that's what I did. And that's what came out of it. I was like,
Wow, wow.
and
So
then, so,
everybody on this channel knows how much I love rocks. I sleep with them, so.
oh, so these are ones I charged in my apple tree, my little fairy tree. And this is a piece of pottery that my son made
Oh,
when he
it's
was in
so good.
elementary school. And I just set it in the crook of the tree the other day when I was in prayer. So they're all charged up with lots of love.
Yeah,
So,
nice. Very
yeah, so
nice.
yeah, that's a little bit of what I do. And I do that I'm going to be showing a lot more artistic stuff on my other channel just so people can get away from the news.
Well, you have another channel?
Yeah, it's slow going. I'm really
Mhm.
focusing on this one right now, but I have a lot of stuff that I'm doing. But yeah, I am an artist too. But like it helps, it's sort of like a loop for me. Like the
Yeah.
art feeds the time because I get into flow when I'm in my art, which feeds the whole spiritual side of me, which like feeds the other side, and it's like this beautiful um symbiotic harmony.
So what do you want to read on?
Okay, okay. So it's no big secret in Canada, but Trudeau is not very popular here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's like, so we don't, thankfully, we have more than one choice here in Canada, though. It's not just one or the other. We have like 3 or 4 different choices of parties that we can um, vote on to lead us.
Are they all
Um,
equally strong or do you have
it depends on the amount of seats that you hold.
mm,
So it's like whoever has the most seats rules the government, and each party has a leader to represent. So for the Liberal Party, that's Justin Trudeau. For the NDP party, that's Jagmeet Singh.
what's NDP mean?
new Democrat Party. So they're a
Oh,
lot
okay.
more. They're a lot more. Think about Bernie Sanders,
Hmm.
kind of that direction. And then there's the Conservative Party, whose current leader is Pierre Poilievre,
Ah,
and
yes.
he is. I trust him about as far as I can throw him.
Oh, look at that. Oh, geez. Yeah.
Um, and so they're calling on Trudeau to leave. They're, first of all, the referee, the guy in the house that made that really bad choice,
Yeah, that guy.
ooh, he's
Is he
probably
leaving?
going to have to leave.
How
Yeah, even
mad?
Justin
How
Trudeau.
mad was everybody when he did that? How mad was
Well, what is so stupid is everybody in Parliament stood up and gave this old guy a standing ovation.
everyone?
Every dingling
Everyone.
in Parliament did it.
Dinglings.
I
Well,
can't even. So,
but okay, so why was he there and why did they give him a standing ovation?
okay, so here's the backstory. The Ukrainian president, Vladimir Zelensky, was in Canada to talk to Parliament. And
Mm-hmm.
Trudeau, you know, the whole thing that they do, they got to do their whole, we're giving you money. Thank you for money. Thank you for giving
Mm-hmm.
me money. We appreciate you. Da, 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 the whole thing. And then the Speaker of the House, so each member of Parliament has like a certain amount of people that they can invite to this special occasion. And so the member of the House, the Speaker of the House, he invited this older gentleman who put in a request to be there.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Okay. So this older gentleman, he's a World War II vet, but he just happened to fight on the side of Germany. He immigrated to Canada and then lived his life to the age of 98 and then put in a request to go and sit and be in the audience while Vladimir Zelensky was there saying thank you. Um,
Why did he
and
want to be in the audience for that? Did he say?
I don't know. I have
Hmm.
no clue what his modus operandi was with that. I have no clue. Um, and then the Speaker of the House introduced him and said, like, this is so and so. He fought on the side of Ukraine against Russia, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. And then I was like, wait a second, hold a tick. Isn't that like the wrong way? Like, wait a second, something is not quite right here, guys. But I was just like, I left it because I'm like, these guys should know what's up, right? They're smart. They're in. They can speak two whole languages plus more, probably, right? I can barely speak English, right? So
So this guy who used to wear brown shirts
yeah,
got a standing ovation from some really stupid people who don't know their history. Oh, I'm sorry. That this is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know whether they're stupid or not. I don't know. I don't know these people.
probably they're smart with different things. Maybe not history. Maybe
Yeah.
not.
Which
Maybe
history
not.
should be a really large part of your education if you're going
I
into
think so.
politics.
I think that would be fair.
But I
I
mean,
don't
come
think
on, I'm from the US, so we don't we don't value our history either. So
Oh, it was so funny because I was getting really irritated because the two opposing parties, like the conservatives, were like saying all of this stuff about like, so the next day for question period, Justin Trudeau didn't show up at Parliament. So he had a woman standing there in his place to answer for. I don't know who her name is. She's probably like the second in command if he's not there. That's probably how it goes. And that's my not knowing. But so she was there. And so she was like, we asked that the conservative, like, they're like, we're ashamed and embarrassed about this. And we would ask that the Conservative Party not politicize this right now. This is very embarrassing for us. And then the other guys stand up and they're like, could we ask why Justin Trudeau didn't, like, why did just asking very reasonable questions, actually. And it's just like, and I was like so irritated. This is the difference between America and Canada. I was so irritated by the rudeness. But they were just speaking civilly to each other. And then I went and I looked at like what's going on in the States, and then I'm like, they have guns on the floor? Wait a second. Guns on the floor? Like,
yep.
and I'm like, oh, okay.
So do you want to read on whether he will step down or not?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay. So will Justin Trudeau step down? Let me just see where he is right now. His
I had a
energy.
vision about him a few days before this happened.
Yeah. What was
I
it?
had pardon? Sorry.
What was it?
Oh, so I had a visitation from a very, very famous Canadian singer who passed away, I don't know, over, oh gosh, when was it? It feels like so long ago. Over 4 years ago. His name's Gord Downey, and he came around because I was praying over my children because my children were going to a protest.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very concerned over their health and safety, especially because of, So I stayed home and I hung out under my apple tree and I prayed for them a lot. And he came along through music. What happens is the singers will play their music. It's like I hear a stereo in my head. Like everything sounds exactly like the song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just singing a song. It's like, oh, that song is like, I can hear every little beat and every little thing. And he brought 2 songs to mind, and then he showed me a lot of stuff. And then he took me on this like vision of all of Canada from east to west and north to south, all of Canada, all of it. And then he showed me all of the energy of all the Canadians like running together in this like long cord directly at the middle of Justin Trudeau. Like all of this anger and everything just being poured into Justin. And I was like, he's going through stuff. And he's like, yeah, he's about to go through a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's got a lot of emotions going on right now. There's a lot going on. This is his, in his second chakra. That's where change is happening, and he's trying to be creative. He's pulling on his creative juices, but it's all about the emotion that's coming at him because at the beginning of the day, it's all about truth. And is he truthful? Is he giving the truth? I honestly think he wants to.
Yes.
In his mind, what the truth is. I don't know if it's I just think that he's not trying to get over on you guys. I think he's
No,
trying to do the best job that he can,
I
working
think
with what's coming at him, right? So, but it is having an effect. You know,
yes.
the wisdom behind it's having an effect on him and on the electorate and what they
Hmm.
feel about him. But this man's got like you, and I say like you know what I mean, like you.
Hmm.
he's got some he's got a lot of he's got a lot of energy that
Yes.
that he has to that he can pull from.
Yes.
So
And I know that I feel like when I read into him, I felt like he was because his father was the prime minister in the
mhm.
um like I don't remember his dad. I don't think I was alive when his dad was maybe.
I
Anyway,
was.
okay.
I was
So
alive.
yeah, so Pierre Elliott Trudeau was Prime Minister of Canada. JT would be sort of like your equivalent of John Jr. Whoa, did you see that? That should have been a
Yes.
goalie. This came in upside down. It's like his power right now is not so good.
Yeah.
They're strategizing and trying to figure out what the heck to do.
Hmm.
But the chariot is coming, and I'm wondering if there's going to be a female come up in behind to take his spot as leader. You got the chariot too. That's my chariot. Look at that.
Oh, I love that car.
He wants to push us forward so that we're more accepting of, you know, everybody.
Yeah. Well, you think, in 2023, we might have a little bit of insight as to why we all look different.
It's okay.
Science is pretty explanatory. People explain things, doctors explain why your skin is one way and then the other person's skin is another way. It's just like,
Yeah,
where was your origin of, where do you have the most DNA? Is it in the hotter climates or is it in the colder climates? So your
yeah,
skin would adjust to that.
yeah,
We don't pay attention to biology. We just sort of skim past the fact that we're all the same in
yes,
different packages. And,
exactly.
and it's great that we come in different packages. And
I think
it
so
doesn't
too.
have to be it's doesn't have to be a mystery. He has to retreat,
Hmm.
wounded in battle,
Hmm.
because something just happened to take his shine away. But this is his outcome card.
Okay. I pulled up this after the Empress. Got a bit of a fight, and he's got to be
Mm-hmm.
strategic about it. And then this came up.
Oh, I don't live in your country. I have been to your country. It's beautiful. When I was in college, um, I studied acting in school, and my whole acting department, we sort of went to Toronto because going to we were going to sign up for extra work in Toronto because I was in New York at the time. So it was just a hop, skip, and a jump, right? We got to Toronto and all the agents were like, no, we don't take outside people. I was like, wait, we take all of your actors and you don't take any of our actors? How much fun is that? How fun is that? That a lot of Canadians came over and became stars here, but we were not able to do the same thing in Canada. So,
That is
um,
yeah, that is a deep uh Canadian psychological issue,
Mm.
always being the little brother to United States.
Oh,
That's a
so
Canadian mental health problem. That's what that is, Tony. If I was to be frank, that's what it would be.
but you're not, I mean, you're so much, you have so much going, right, for you. And it's you don't have to be in in the shadow, because you, if anything, you're in the shadow of Great Britain, right? Right?
Oh, yes. Speaking of that, I wanted to show you something. I brought show and tell for you today. Are we done with Trudeau before I
Yeah.
carry on? Okay. So I took acting in high school as well, and I love art as well. Um, and the day that the Queen died was a really weird
Mm.
day for me because I've never not had the Queen in my eyes
Hmm.
since day one. She's on all of our money. She's everywhere. Okay. We had a photo of her up in the classroom. Thankfully, that only lasted a little while because I was like, this is so weird. Like, this
Who's
old
that old
lady's like
lady who
looking at.
keeps looking at it? Did her eyes follow you?
Yes. Are you doing your studies? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I am. I'm doing my cursive. Yes, ma'am. So, so when she died, so I had this art book and it was just black like this for the longest time. And I kept opening it up on the wrong, I don't know why. I'm dyslexic, so up and down and all that stuff doesn't mean anything to me. So I kept opening it up in the wrong spot. And I was like, I need to really put something on the cover of this. So I stopped doing that. Um, so I've had this book, and for the longest time, I was like, I don't know what to even put on there. I do not know what to even put on there. And then the Queen died, and all of a sudden I had this inspiration of to commemorate it somehow, and I don't know why. The spirit took over, Tony. That's what it was.
Yes.
So, and so I grabbed my paint pens and I looked at a few things and I was like, yes, yes. Like I found the light bulbs, the little muses, and then I got to work. And this thing came out onto my book, and I will explain it to you.
Oh, lovely. That's beautiful. Oh, it's great.
So,
Day the planet evolved. Oh, that's
so if you
awesome.
look in this wave here, it says Q and then a date. So that's her death day. And then I was going to write the day the planet changed, because I was like, oh, we're going from her to Chuck now, like, whoa. And then I was like, I started writing changed, and then the spirit stopped me and it was like, I was like, that looks a lot like chains. And I don't want chains anymore for the world. I want evolution and love. So I got rid of that, my start, and then I was like, well, what do I do? And it was evolved. And then if you look on the word evolved, there's love. Let me see.
Yes. There's
So I
love.
did, yeah, evolved. And then if you look, it's LOVE.
Yeah.
And then I put an L, and then I put a little tiny O
Yeah.
here, VED. Evolved and loved.
Oh, it's
Evolved,
beautiful.
love, and loved. So
That's awesome.
I don't know what that means, but the spirit brought that here. So I choose to like say, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do
So
it.
you
Let's
call
evolve.
so you call him Chuck.
We did. When he was together with Di. Yes, Chuck and Di.
Chuck and Die. Chuck
Well,
and I.
and Diana, but
Die.
I don't know how the royals do all this stuff. I do feel for them. They've been a part of my life, my whole life. They're just, you know,
There. They're
Canada,
just a part of your fabric, a part of your woven
the
fabric.
consciousness. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just like, oh yeah, Britain, the kings and queens, and I mean, and Canada is still part. Yeah, yeah, they're part of us, and we're part of them, and it's okay. Just don't get upset if I'm not proper.
Yeah. I
Please.
don't care if you're proper or not.
No. So, you know how you were talking about DNA and all that sort of stuff? I did
Mhm.
mine, and I'm like 60% Scottish. And then like
Really?
all the rest of it, so it's like Scottish and Irish and Welsh and English. And I'm like, so I was telling my sister about it, and she was like, "Can I see? Can I see?" And I was like, because she never got it done. I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll show you." Like, and it shows up the DNA makeup on either side, like what you get from your mother's side and your father's side and everything. So I show her the map, and it's all just like Great Britain, like the United Kingdom area. And I look over to her and I'm like, yeah, we didn't travel far.
No, you didn't.
She started laughing so hard. And then our family went to like New York, and then we went up to Nova Scotia, and we stayed there for like, we've been there since before Canada was Canada. So it's
Mm.
like, my mom and dad was the first generation who moved from Atlantic Canada to the Pacific and got a different view of the world. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, anyway.
That's very cool. Very cool. I mean, when I actually when I moved into this house, there was the guy who put our carpet in. He was from Ireland. And we
Mm,
were talking, and he was like, he looked at me, he's like, you look indigenous, and are you American Indian? Or American Native American? And I said, well, my father was Choctaw, and he just like his eyes got big, and he was like, we have a special relationship with the Choctaw people because they,
oh,
during the potato famine, the Choctaw Nation sent money and supplies over to Ireland to help out the people who were starving, and they always sort of remember that on a yearly basis
yeah.
they that relationship. So that was, I mean, that's something I didn't know, and now I know. I feel good about
Yeah,
it.
and you have this like connection. I want to show you a gift that I got from my friend who's First Nations here. I wanted to learn, I want to learn how to play drum, but I specifically wanted to learn how to play the Irish drum, which is called the boran. But
I have
it's
one.
expensive. I don't have one. It's expensive. And then my friend, she's First Nation, she's like, I have a drum, it's broken. Do you want it? And I was like, yeah, sure. And so this is a drum that she built, and it's funny because you know how I really love mermaids? I don't know if anybody gets that yet, but I really love mermaids. And I was thinking about, so we have this very special fish that's in the rivers where we live. It's a sturgeon,
Mhm.
and they're protected fish. And I said, are there river mermaids? Just asking a question of the guides one day, and they're like, what do you think a sturgeon is? And I was like, a river mermaid? A sturgeon's a river? Because they're huge. They're huge. They're magical beasts. They're
Oh.
huge. So I was like, okay, sure. That sturgeon is a river mermaid. Okay, whatever. And then later on, my friend's like, oh, I have this drum. I made it a long time ago. She made this thing years ago, and it broke. So she was like, do you want it? And I got it on the sturgeon full moon. with a
Wow.
sturgeon painted on it.
That's awesome. I love
So
the
that's a
colors.
sturgeon. So that's a sturgeon too. And then I had to string the whole thing. So this is the design that came from um, Spirit, and I used the water from the river to help with the hide and everything. So her and I built this together, and she gifted it to me, and that's my first drum.
I have a few videos on the channel where we play music. So
Nice.
I really love this drum. It has such a great sound.
Oh, yeah. That's the boron, yeah. Oh, it's not coming through though.
Oh, because I have to change it. Come through. Can you hear it?
Oh yeah, a little bit. Oh wait, no, it's not coming.
No, not coming through.
I
You
can
usually
imagine
have to
it.
change. You have to change the mic input
Oh yeah,
for music because it.
and then this
But
was my first drum that my youngest made for me.
wait, wait. How young is young? That's
They are.
that's
Uh,
amazing.
they were born in '99, so they're 24.
Wow, that's
They did this
beautiful.
in art school
Yikes.
In their First Nations class.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So
Okay.
this is the type of artwork that the people in the First Nations do here. And yeah, so this was my first drum, and I don't want to get the paint off of it, so it's more of a
Yeah.
decoration.
Yeah. So is that a fox?
Yeah, it's
Or
a fox with two tails.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. So we got a few
Anything?
more minutes.
Okay. Anything in
Let's
the States? Let's talk about the States.
with the states, I think the one thing that's sort of hanging over my head is my union is still on strike. SAG is still on strike.
Okay.
And so I was wondering what's going to happen with that.
Okay. Let's.
Will there be a deal, and will the deal be something that we can sort of swallow without
Yeah, is
too
it going to
much
be
hesitation?
sad? Okay, I'm never going to use this chair again. I feel like a little baby. Okay. 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 Let's talk about SAG. What's going to happen for the actors and everyone else attached to?
Let's ask our gay BFF.
Okay.
Will the strike end next week? I'm going to get very specific here. That's a no. It says stop that blank
Okay.
right now. That's what we're saying. No, we're saying we're asking them to come to the table, make a deal. We'll make a deal.
They're trying to put this, they're trying to make you sweat so that you're weak. They're trying to
Yeah,
weaken you.
yeah,
Don't
they
get weak.
absolutely are.
Don't get weak. There's other options for you guys. You do not have to. There are other things coming, I feel, for actors.
I
I
really
feel
think
like
that the acting sort of business has changed so much, and it's changed. I mean, we used to have like things that we could write off, like our costumes, the clothes we used, our makeup. We used to, back in the day, we could write all that stuff off on taxes. We can't write any of that stuff off now. And actors go broke trying to, get clothes and shoes and stuff to wear to auditions. And it's just,
yeah,
and it's just like you want to just nitpick and take everything that's extra away based on 1% of the population of actors in America who don't make millions of dollars in movies and TV.
Mm.
Most people don't make that. People don't ever get close to that, and they work every day. They work two jobs and they go out on auditions, and they're constantly going out, having to buy things so that they can look the part or, be the part. And they always have to, be in shape, and their hair always has to be good, and the skin, and, so all of that takes money. I mean,
And time.
and
Yeah.
time. So it's just like there's no respect for the actor anymore. Not that there ever was a whole lot of respect for actors.
Um, well, you saw me do a lot of shuffling there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just show you. It looks like there is going to be something coming, an offer possibly, something new. Um, for the stars.
Of course.
And you can see that there's you gotta work it through. You gotta
Yeah.
work it through. There's still fighting and stuff, and it looks like it's over money,
Yes.
still over money. Um, the world is.
That's your dog.
Thank you, Winter. Good girl. You did it. Thank you. Yeah, shake that out and calm down. You did it. Thank you for protecting me. Good job. Sorry about that. The world is watching and seeing. Before the internet and like YouTube and TikTok and all those sort of things, you guys were at a way bigger disadvantage because we weren't getting the whole truth. We were just getting that whatever the statements were, the official statements. So there's a bigger pressure. This came in, Temperance came in upside down though.
Yeah. I got it right side up, but it's on
Okay.
the bottom of the deck. So,
What's on the
mm,
bottom of my deck? The
Cherry.
Hierophant.
Oh, the Hierophant. Yeah,
So,
I got that too.
so I feel like this is the big guys. They're feeling a little bit, they're losing their resolve, maybe. I'll use that word.
Hmm.
And maybe, so I think, oh, yes, this too is about the help that you guys have been getting, the support to continue to protest and ask for what's yours. I feel like it's working. It's against, like, you're going to be able to weather the storm. It's coming. It's going to be different.
Yes. Something new. Something new. Yeah. Oh, wow.
They're crying over the money. They're crying
Well,
over the loss of the money that they're not making now. They're like, why won't you just let us do what we want to do?
because the
Cause
writers said that they wouldn't go back to work until the actors had a deal.
yeah,
So it would behoove them to move on this, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of movement.
mm-mm.
Very, very, very stubborn, very stubborn. They just don't want. I mean, this whole AI stuff, it's just like freaking me out.
Yeah, they're like making offers, and you're like, nope, nope,
Yeah, they came with
nope.
an offer, but that offer it was like, what are you? What do you think we are?
Yeah, do you think we're dumb?
You think we are rubes? So yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
It's
something's
not
coming.
cool. Yeah.
Some decisions are being made. Well, may they. Let's pray for the most benevolent outcome for everybody.
Yes, yes, let's do that.
Everybody.
Now,
Yes.
let me ask you before we go, let me ask you, do you have a do your guides give you messages? Like, can you ask your guides to give you messages for maybe just the collective right now? Because where we are is, you know, where we are, you can feel the energy.
Yeah.
And it's just very heavy and very like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's going to be that way for a little while, but we
Yeah.
are moving in the right direction. It's just you can't see it, you know, it's like so slow. You
Yes. So my guides are giving me a couple of pictures right now. So you remember when those children got caught in that cave underwater,
yes.
and they had to do all of this giant thing to safely bring them out, and they even took into consideration their mental health and everything. And I believe that each of those children were like sedated while they went under the cave, because that would be absolutely horrific to go through,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, what I am seeing is that that's sort of what we're going through right now. We don't know exactly what is going on around us. All of the, my guides use the word shitstorm on Turd Mountain quite frequently. Uh, so we're in the middle of that. Um,
Yeah.
that's what happens when you have Scottish ancestors. They say really funny things. Yeah.
Well, that sounds about right.
Yeah, so that's where we are. So something that my spirit guide has showed me like before, when I was in the middle of like some really heavy things, was they gave me a picture of a valve, a circular valve,
Mhm.
and there was a green portion on the inside, and then so it was like a semicircle, and then the other that was a red zone, and then green zone in the middle.
Oh.
So spirit was like, your goal every single day is to keep it in the green zone. Don't allow yourself to get over one way or another. Don't be in the past, don't be in the future. Just look to what you want and where you want to go. And oh, that's another one they want to say. And then even for your emotions, if you find yourself like being taken out of calm,
Mm-hmm.
present moment and now, and in the power of the spirit, which is now, get back to that spot. Just try
Mm-hmm.
to keep it in the green zone with the spirit. And then, you know, and a lot of that comes from our inner knowing and our heart. So spend a lot of time in quiet and get to know yourself, get to know your guides, get to know what feels good and what doesn't feel good, and then just follow that little breadcrumb. It's like, does it feel good in here? Then yeah, I think that's okay. Check in with your guides if you're not sure. Ask for some clues to the puzzle so you know that you're taking the right step. Um, and then what was the other one that you guys said? Oh, bring it back if you want me to say it.
So don't get overheated. So what so I saw your video, you were like, let me get my crown.
Yeah. And that's sometimes what I need to do to calm down, because I was in the red zone yesterday.
So I have my crown here. I have my crown here, my little fairy crown.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my dark crown on.
Falling apart. I
How
can't
lovely.
see.
I love your crown. It's so gorgeous.
Thank you. I think I'll wear this all day today. My little
Good.
butterfly.
I mean, oh,
Fell off.
that seal song just came into my mind. We're never gonna get by unless we get a little crazy. But good crazy, not bad
The
crazy.
good crazy, the good crazy. So, oh
The
my gosh.
playfulness, the joy, the things that make us the buoy us up. The like, I do not watch scary things. I try to avoid as much negativity as possible right now, because honestly, if I dwell on something, oh, that, thank you. Um, they brought it back. So what? Okay. So what they said to me was, I don't know if you've ever driven in the winter in the slippery conditions
Yeah, I'm from
and
Chicago.
okay, so okay, so not everybody has, but so what we were taught to do when we were learning how to drive in the snow was, you look, like, if you're slipping and it looks like you're going to drive into some place like the ditch or another car, whatever, you don't look at where you're going. You look to where you want to go, and what happens is your body like self corrects, and then you end up more often than not safe, because you didn't panic
Right.
and you looked at where you wanted to go. And then it's like our body knows what to do. It straightens us up and we end up doing it. And it's just, every time that's happened, I follow that rule and I'm like, okay, touch wood. So
touch wood. That was fun. Oh, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. And
you're welcome.
that's great. Great advice to stay in the green zone, and don't look at the thing that could possibly happen. Look at what you want to happen, right?
And put that prayer out and ask for the universe to intervene where we can't, because they are all ready. They're all ready for us. They're just waiting on the go with the, okay, please come in, please come help me with this. They're not going to do it unless we ask. So it's
Mm.
like, there are times when I'm like, I don't know what this is, and then all of a sudden it'll come, uh show up on my YouTube feed, or, and I'm like, oh, thanks. But I said it in my head, like,
Yeah, I mean, it's like um what happened to me with your question on my video. It's like
yeah,
I asked my guides, I said, should I put up all of these videos, and I asked about each one, and they said about your video, they said no. And I did it anyway. I was like, well, I'm just going to put it up anyway. I don't really know. I don't care. And it just cut off right at the beginning, before the question even came up. And I was like, this is spooky. I
welcome to
think
my
I'll just
world,
let it be
Tony.
the way it is. And you really didn't want that video out, that part of the question. I'm like, that is so weird. So, when your guides talk to you and things like that happen, you sort of have to really pay attention,
You do, yeah,
because it's for
definitely.
your own good, it's for your own welfare. So,
Well, and it's better and easier to listen with the quiet voices than getting a frying pan up the side of the head. So you get to choose how much of a lesson you need, depending on how quickly you start to listen and move forward. And, you know, we all have free will.
yeah.
It's like, if you want to do it the hard way, we can do it the hard way.
We absolutely will do it any way you want. It's just
We
like you got
love
to give us.
you. If you like hard lessons, we give you hard lessons. It's okay.
Okay, well, we're here all the time. We're here. We're all, be sure to tip your waiter. We're all nice.
Every little thing about us, like everything, they know it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We know. We
We
know.
just want to, we just like sort of fight a little bit, I think. It's like,
We
but
do, because we're human and we have that resistance. And sometimes, even though I'm all about allowing it to be the way it is, or
yeah,
just allow it to be the way it is, sometimes the resistance comes up just by habit. You know,
yeah,
habitually resistant to change. So
That
because we're
ego thing, it's like, don't boss me around. You're not the boss of
don't tell me
me.
what to do.
Yeah.
So tell everyone how to reach you.
Just come to my YouTube page, Pomona Remembers, and all of my information where you can find me is on the description of the page.
And
So my webpage.
I'll put a link under this video for you
Yeah,
also. So you
yeah,
guys
that's
go over and check out Pomona because she remembers, she has all the info. So thank you to everyone who's
thank
tuned
you.
in. I would love to ask you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed and hit that bell so that you can be reminded when I do another video. I want to thank Pomona Remembers for visiting us and let's do it again because laughter is so healing and that's what this channel is all about. It's
Yeah.
about healing in every way, not just physically, but mentally, spiritually, soulfully.
Hmm.
Heal. Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Thank you. And until next time, walk in beauty, walk in joy, and walk in love. Bye guys.
Ta-ra.